Okay, let's talk about really getting the most out of this camera, and in particular, using this new tool, a gimbal. I'm sure you've all noticed in many, many movies those great smooth moves that the camera's able to walk around a person and it's completely smooth. Well, that's basically what we're going to be able to get with this tool. This used to be a very expensive piece of equipment. Now, there's really no reason not to have it. It's going to improve the quality of your video 100%. Let's start with your phone. I always take mine out of the case just because you really don't need that extra weight on your gimbal. So I always think of this button here on the right side. I always think of that. I want to keep that to my right. That's the main control button on my phone. In the same way, on my gimbal, this motor right here, I always want to keep that on my right side as well. So I'm going to try to line up the right side of my camera, put it in that clip, pull it around. Now I'm going to push it in as far as I can so that it goes up and meets this little motor. And I want to keep that right in the center. See how this little lines up with that. Okay, now this isn't exactly balanced, but the reason is because I have a larger phone. It's a iPhone 8 Plus. So in order to make that balance a little bit better, there's an adjustment back here on the gimbal. And I'm going to actually extend this arm to make it more even and balance the phone better. Now, it doesn't exactly snap to even, but you'll see in a second it will. Now, your gimbal may be different, look different. There may be more controls on it. We're just going through the basics here to get you started and get you out shooting some good video. But the first thing is to find the power button. It's this red button there, and I'm going to push it, and it's going to snap to life. Now it's orienting itself square with the horizon, which gives you great steady shots, and this will really improve your handheld video. Let's talk about a couple of the features and the buttons on the gimbal itself. Yours may be slightly different from mine, but all will have this kind of a main button, which is mostly I use for tilt. You notice if you push it up, the camera moves up. Push it down that way, it moves down. Now, let's talk about the modes that'll come with your gimbal. Most likely, it'll start up on what is known as one mode, which is basically your follow mode. That means that when the gimbal is oriented like this, and you rotate your hand, your wrist, like that, it'll follow your pan, which is your movement of the camera from left to right, from side to side. Now, your gimbal will come with an app that you can put on your phone, and within that, your app, you'll be able to have a lot of control over your phone and the gimbal straight from that app. But I would like us to really focus, especially for this class, on just using the gimbal basic on and off switch from the gimbal, and we're going to use the camera control with our Filmic Pro app, which is a great app that you'll really enjoy. First, I'm going to start up my camera here. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to find Filmic Pro, that cool app, and I just started it up, and there's my picture. Now, one thing I want you to really try to work on is always keep your gimbal oriented straight up and down like this. Not like this, where it's more sideways. When you try to move it, it just can't do it. It won't be able to move. So try to get used to being able to hold it straight up and down. Now, this is a very important button. Don't forget it. I have at times, you may at times. Press that. That means we're recording. And at that point, I'm able to get nice, smooth moves.